Welcome to I Said No Gifts. I'm Bridger Winegar, age 14. I'm looking right down the barrel of the camera. This is the second time we're starting the podcast. We've had some things, so now I'm just repeating things that were repeated pre-recording, and that's nobody's fault but my own. Annalise is demanding I look right into the camera for YouTube, for the videos. So that's what I'm doing, and if you're just listening to this, it doesn't affect you in any way. I've had my Baby Bell cheese from the office fridge. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Is there anything else? My horoscope reminded me that other people have their own problems. That does not sound right to me. So let's just move on to the podcast. I really adore today's guest. It's Tom Scharpling. Tom.
Hi.
Welcome to I Said No Gifts.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
So exciting.
Of course. It's a little rainy outside.
Yeah, it's a little damp.
How was your drive over?
Oh, it was fine. A lot of classic LA drivers where the fast lane is kind of a suggestion that you can be like, either somebody's going 110 miles an hour as if it's Fast and the Furious, or somebody is driving 45 miles an hour in the fast lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like the fast lane within the Los Angeles County, no one understands that that's what it's for.
Yes.
Even my boyfriend, who's actually kind of an aggressive driver, but then we'll just be in the fast lane the whole time, and we're just going 75, and I ask him over and over, please move. You're supposed to pass in this thing.
Yes. Is this worth it?
Yes.
To be going? No, it's really bizarre how uniquely awful the driving is out here, and sometimes it's just like everybody's like, oh, the traffic. It's like, no, it's not the traffic. It's the humans making awful decisions.
I imagine somebody's made this observation before, but do you feel like that is because there are so many transplants here and everyone's constantly lost?
I could see that. It is a place where not a lot of people are from here who are here.
Right.
Like, they'd be like, I'm from Los Angeles. I've been here for 3 years. Now, being from New Jersey, the fast lane is like the fast lane. It's like the Autobahn where people are just like if you're not going 80, you might as well be going 10 miles an hour on the turnpike.
And I imagine there's a decent amount of road rage.
Oh, yeah. No, it's on the license plate. It says home of road rage.
Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
Oh, yeah. I've gotten plenty of speeding tickets over. Not in a long time, knock on wood, but yeah, I've gotten speeding tickets.
What's the fastest you've gone? What's the fastest you were going when getting a ticket?
Probably like 78.
78?
55.
Oh, and a 55.
Yeah, not
too. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like 55 is no longer a real speed limit on a freeway.
No, that's a bizarre. It's like an antiquated thing. It's like when you hear that, like I was thinking, like on Saturday Night Live, where like we write all Tuesday night into the morning. It's like, why? Because that's how we always did it here. It's like, are we sure we don't want to question that at any point and be like, well, maybe we could work normal office hours and not be sleep deprived when we come in to do a table read. Right.
That strange badge of honor or whatever for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
But sticking to these old norms is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that 110 is still a 55 speed.
110 is pretty awesome because it has, I didn't know you could have a 90-degree angle turn off of a highway where you go from going 55 to 5 into a like within 30 feet, you're in a residential area.
You're going through someone's neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just like you're going so fast and then suddenly it's actual houses and you are still going fast.
Just breezing past an elementary school. I've recently I feel like the 110 does, and this is a topic for 4 people, but I feel like that particular freeway, that stretch of it that's very old, gets a very bad rap, but I've kind of fallen in love with it recently.
I like it. It's very weird, and it feels like it feels like nobody caught that this still exists yet,
Yes.
and they haven't changed it. Like they've been meaning. Like it's like, oh wait, we didn't alter that yet. Like how'd that get away from us?
It's very charming. It has a lot of curves, which you don't usually see on a freeway.
No.
You actually have to like pay attention.
Oh yeah, no, you got to be on guard.
Right. I mean, the biggest problem obviously is going from a stop sign to freeway speeds. That like on the entrances.
There's always that moment where exactly you're trying to get on the 110. There's a stop sign, and cars are going so fast, and you're trying to just find your entry point.
It's so scary.
And you have to be going so fast so quickly. Yeah, I'm amazed that there's not 1,000 accidents on the 110 every day.
I know, it's really shocking. I should be responsible for at least 500 of those accidents, the way I'm pulling onto that thing. And I have no real sense of space or time. So when I pull out onto it, it's like I'm putting everybody's life in danger. And of course, that would be, you would get hit by a car going 70.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
What does that look like?
That would look like you would be dead.
Blow up.
Yeah, you would be dead. You wouldn't know what it looked like.
But while driving down it, you do feel almost like it's like a detective freeway in the 40s or 50s. I feel like you're on the case or something.
Yes. Yeah, the 110. It feels like you'd see Philip Marlowe driving
completely.
on the 110, his Studebaker.
He just had a steak and coffee and he's...
Exactly. For 30 cents. He just had... Yeah. I like when you see those movies and it's like in the 70s, it's just like coffee, 5 cents. You're like, how did this go 50,000% price increase on this? 5 cents was for
At what
coffee?
point wouldn't you hand someone a nickel for anything?
Anything. It's just like movies, 10 cents. It's like, this is like wartime inflation we actually live in.
And the
you have
amount
a
of
wheelbarrow.
change that people were carrying around. Just jangling.
Yeah. And then now we're just like, coins. What are these coins? Why do we have coins?
Do you know what I did recently, though, is I got a roll of quarters and put it in my car middle, whatever that little treasure chest is.
Yeah.
And it's changed everything as far as parking meters goes.
I have in my glove compartment. I shouldn't say this because now my car's going to be a target
for
your
thieves.
Your listeners.
We're
are gonna
targets
be
for thieves.
breaking into my car. I have in my glove compartment like a little zippy bag that's shaped like a piece of cake. Oh. And I have coins in it that I use for meters, and it was a life changer.
Yeah, I credit card in a parking meter. It's so frustrating for me.
Yeah. And do you know, this might be getting very specific, nothing is more infuriating than the parking lot in Los Feliz next to Fred 62.
Oh.
There's that one part, the machine never works.
Those horrible
and
machines.
you can't even, it's scratched. So like people have scratched the thing so you can't even read whether you paid for it or not. And there's always just like a line of 6 people, and finally she was like, it's not working today. Let's just hope we don't get tickets.
I mean, if the city wants you to pay, they should be on top of those things, making sure they work at all times.
Oh, absolutely. No, it should be they should care.
They should care on some level.
They don't care.
I feel like if the machine isn't working, I should also have like Post-it notes in my car that I can write, it's not working. This is now your problem.
Absolutely. I always thought the greatest thing ever would be to have in your trunk like a fake fire hydrant you could put in front of when you want to park somewhere, and you put it there when you know you're going to have to be there, and then you just go and then you put the fire hydrant back in your trunk when you get there, and then when you
genius.
I don't have the courage to do that though.
Right.
To actually be like, did you just pick the fire hydrant up and put it in your trunk? Yeah, I'm up to something here. Sorry.
I wonder what the consequences would be if you were caught doing that. Like,
Is there like impersonating a fire hydrant? There's no law.
A fire hydrant salesman?
I think the other one you could do is, I always thought would be to put like, win this car. You could just like park on the sidewalk and just have a sign that says win this car with like a website. And then people are like, well, this is clearly some sponsored arrangement here. There's a car, win it. And then then you just put your win this car sign back in the trunk.
Oh, like a 98 Accord or something.
Exactly. Why? Who wants to win this dirty, Kia.
Yeah, I've gotten one parking ticket and never gotten a speeding ticket.
Really? Well,
I'm a model.
congratulations.
I'm an A+ driver.
That's what everybody says. They know you're the Mr. Safety on the road.
I'm actually an atrocious driver.
Really?
The fact that I drove on the freeway today in the rain is crazy.
Well, out here, people get so weirdly bad at driving in the rain. There's like, I remember arguing when I lived in New Jersey for most of my life and came out here probably 5 years ago. And people, when I would be out here and it would rain, people would be driving like 20 miles an hour and be like, why do you guys go so slow? You're not, and I was like, it's the oils come out of the road when it rains. It's like,
what?
The oils?
Out of the pores in the road.
The asphalt has been holding oils that the water lifts from them.
Release the grease.
Yeah, everybody's skidding around. It's like, no, you guys are just not great drivers.
Panicking.
Yeah,
absolute
it's panic
panic.
drivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
I mean, speaking of New Jersey, I feel like the last time I saw you, we may have even talked about this, but it's just been dominating my thoughts since the last time I was in Jersey over the holidays, and I saw it for the first time, that giant mall. Have you been to that thing?
No, that thing was not done. Xanadu is, I think, what they were calling it. Is that
they
what
were calling it Xanadu?
I think it was. It's way up north. They were building the world, like this giant shopping center that had literally like a ski slope in it, and they ran out of money, and it was just this incomplete, just albatross that I would pass for years, and then they finally got it on track when I was leaving.
Oh, what a shame.
I never got to see the ski slope.
Right.
Go to the mall with your skis.
Yeah, but, do people take their skis, or do you just borrow them from the mall?
You might. Is it like a roller rink where?
Yeah, where
you just get some skis.
They're spraying them with Lysol.
Yeah. Spray. Yeah, that.
Yeah, that. I drove past it, and it is an atrocious looking building. Like,
it's horrible. It's like a checkered.
It does not look good.
It looks like the Partridge Family bus with all the patterns on it, and you're like, this is clear. Now I know why this thing was not finished, because just the color scheme is bad enough. It's like clear that if that's a reflection on who's trying to get this thing off the ground, it's like, yeah, of course this is a disaster.
There must have been a lot of dirty money there.
Oh, it's New Jersey. It's a place where
what are you talking about?
You go to a diner, and then I would eat at this diner in Hoboken, and then one day in the paper it's like, oh, this is the diner where where they were like making deals for like selling organs illegally.
Like, were they keeping them in the walk-in fridge?
I don't know how they were doing, and it was like there were like rabbis involved in it, or not. Maybe it was like it was the messiest thing I've ever heard about, and it was like that diner is where it happened. And then I learned about that. I'm still eating there, and then one night I'm eating. Artie Lang comes in. Like a disaster at probably 1:30 in the morning. I hear he orders 2 roast beef sandwiches, like to go. It's like, first of all, who gets a roast beef sandwich at a diner?
1:30 in the morning.
Let alone 2 of them. Like, well, look, the 2, that's your call, but. It'd be like the people that get like they get like the stir fry at the diner. It's like this is not what they do. Why
they make one of those every 5 years.
They're just by
mistake.
Yeah, I think we can make that. They get the cookbook out for that
one. What's and this just feels like we're really leaning into a stereotype with New Jersey. But did you ever come close to knowing anyone that was even remotely connected to the mafia?
You could. I mean, in terms of knowing. Not knowing, but I would meet people, and you're just like, it's like, it is really like the cliche where somebody would be just like, yeah, I work in like waste management or construction, and I mean that stuff didn't come from nowhere. It's not fiction, and you could always feel, because there would also be people who would act like they were connected, and they're not.
Right. That's a total
they're
fraud.
Talking about it.
Yes.
It's the people who are like quiet, and you're just like, oh, that guy's scary, and then you kind of realize, you put 2 and 2 together on those guys.
What a shame for the people in New Jersey who are actually in construction and waste management.
Yeah, just making an honest living. I mean, New Jersey literally has the docks in like Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's like a put on. It's like the docks. It's just where it would be the cranes are lifting those giant things off, and they're filled with stuff, and it's just, you can tell how crooked certain spots are. Yeah.
How powerful do we think the mafia is at this point?
That's a good question. I think they would be a real headache if you had like a store and he'd be just like, guy comes like, hey, it'd be a shame if something happened to this place. Like, it would be kind of exciting though if somebody came into like my store and was just kind of like, nice place you got here. Knock something over, it shatters. Yeah, we might have to look after it for you. It's like, I'm running a baseball card shop. I don't make much money. Please. It's like it's a karate studio. We have some mats is all we have here. What, are you going to take my mats away from me?
It just feels like co-managing the store. You're just stepping in to help.
Yeah, you want to help? I'll hire you.
Sure.
You work here now. Now you're the mob guys like booking classes for 15-year-olds doing karate.
Oh, I like the mafia being reduced to a pain in the neck at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder who like the number one guy is. It's who was the last big mafia guy who got caught? It was
I mean, well, John Gotti was one of the that's like the biggest one.
Right.
But there were always these guys. There was one guy who pretended to be like insane and would walk around the village in a bathrobe but was actually still kind of like mobbed up, but he was pretending to be just like, oh, he lost his mind. And then they caught him at some point. It's like, no, he didn't lose his mind. He's just doing the long game here.
Wow.
But just the idea that the commitment.
Yeah, that's such deep cover.
Like, I'm going to be nuts. He tells everybody, I'm going to walk around the village in a bathrobe, keep the feds off my back because I'm crazy.
Wearing a bathrobe in public really is like the last resort to keep people away from you.
Yeah, no, that is a real commitment. And like that'd be the kind of thing when you're going to like take a fashion risk and then you're just like scared and you're just like so self-conscious with it. Like, and then just like, I couldn't pull that off. I'm not wearing the robe anymore.
You're kind of just like trying to carefully take it off without people noticing.
Yeah, it does. Oh, he went back to not wearing a robe again.
Do you have a bathrobe? Do you walk around the house in a robe? I'm
not huge on bathrobes for whatever reason. There's just too much work, kind of like. Because I either get too, like suddenly I'll go from being cold to being too warm with a bathrobe.
Right.
Like within like 4 minutes, I'm just like, I get this bathrobe off me. I'd rather just grab a blanket. Just warm up and then not dispose of the blanket. I fold it back. I don't throw it out. Get this blanket out of my
blankets.
Yeah, I just have a giant garbage can full of blankets that I throw out.
I like a robe. During the winter, it's nice.
So light robe? Do you like a light?
I would say it's like a medium level robe.
Okay, so you can get warm from the robe.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not after showering or a bath. It's like when I wake up in the morning while I'm eating breakfast or whatever.
Okay.
Kind of shuffling around the house.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of shuffling. I usually wake up in a panic, and I don't have.
I also wake up in a panic, but that leads to shuffling.
Yeah, not a lot of robe time in my schedule. Just like, oh shit, I gotta be out of here. Hurry.
How soon between waking up and getting dressed? Like, what's the time there?
Oh, well, it depends. Me and my wife we'll drink coffee in the morning, just sit on the couch and talk, and that's a kind of a fun thing when we can do that. So we can just do that for an hour. It's the best hour of the day.
Right.
And then it's just like, well, I guess we got to start our stupid days now.
What kind of conversations are you having, like upon waking up? I can't imagine doing that.
First we talk about sleep.
Sure.
How did you sleep?
Right.
Did you have any dreams?
Icebreakers.
Whatever. Yeah, icebreakers as if it's speed dating or something. We're just meeting. We're seeing if there's any kind of chemistry between us. Yeah, and then we just talk about what we're going to do, and then that spins off into any kind of discussion about anything, what our day is. And then we kind of take inventory of the people we don't like.
I remembered someone else I don't like.
Yeah. No, it's actually a pretty positive thing. We actually kind of get each other ready for the day.
Right. Oh, that sounds very nice. I wish I was capable of that.
Well,
are you eating breakfast?
Sometimes. Not a major priority
makes
for
no
me.
sense to me.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. I can't do too much coffee in the morning with nothing in my stomach, or I'm just like I get ill from that.
Nauseous.
But I go right to the line with it. Like I push it right. I like eating lunch. I'd rather eat a more substantial lunch than to start things. Because if I eat breakfast, I'm weirdly hungrier. Like 90 minutes later, I'm just like, I've started the food.
Right. You've reminded your body that this is a possibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't imagine waiting until noon to have my first meal of the day. I would lose my mind.
Well, what would be breakfast for you? What's a
I just like a protein bar. Okay. I just need to choose something.
Oh, I mean, I have stuff in my car. I keep like I go to Costco. Again, my car is going to get broken between now.
I know.
Either people are going to want the coins or they're going to want my trunk snacks. I'll just buy like a box of like fig bars, and I keep them in my trunk. So if there's days where I'm just like, I am hungry now,
they're in your trunk?
I don't want to be reaching for them every time I'm in the car. I have to have some wall to remove temptation. If it was in my car, I would eat a fig bar every time I drove, because I'd be in traffic and I'd be just like, okay,
time for a fig bar.
I got to do something to feel better about myself. Where's my fig bars?
The idea of having to like go back to the trunk to get something to eat feels crazy.
Well, I do it when I'm leaving. I say, I could use this. I'll grab a fig bar, bring it up front, drive for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, it's fig bar time. I'm telling you way too much about my micro decisions here. This is too much.
My trunk is just packed with clothes that needed to go to Goodwill like 4 years ago.
Sure, okay.
And also a box of industrial-sized garbage bags my dad accidentally sent me that needed to be returned to Costco.
Okay.
And that'll never happen. So it's just unusable space.
You can return anything to Costco at any point. There's no.
Who do you think you're talking to?
You could bring something like, I bought this Men in Black DVD.
Not true.
14 years ago.
I tried returning these once, and I wasn't a Costco member.
Okay.
And I was like, you can just return these to...
Well, you weren't a member.
But I was like, return them to him.
We don't want to hear from you. I'm a Costco member.
I am now.
Okay, well, good. Now you should be able to return it.
But I already went through the experience once. I don't think I can ever do that again.
Yeah.
I only go to Costco now to get my chicken and various other little items.
Yeah, I like Costco.
What are you buying at Costco?
Almond milk. Get that 3-pack of almond milk. It's pretty sweet. Giant box of cereal.
Okay.
Which I eat at night, actually.
Oh, interesting. What type of cereal?
Oh, what kind don't I get? No, I get it's like that. I like the Special K with the strawberry. The freeze-dried strawberries that come back to life.
Astronaut
in milk.
Strawberries.
Yeah, it is like that. It's like that astronaut ice cream. It's simple stuff. I don't go insane at Costco.
Right.
Like, I'm not buying like a tent. Like the way they like you always go in there and suddenly it's like they just have like a tent set up.
Yeah, like life things. Where I'm just like, that would be such a like thought out purchase for me. It would never be, oh, Costco has it, I'll get the tent now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the market for a tent.
Oh, time to buy a hot tub. It's like...
Yeah. Do you ever eat at Costco? You ever get in that line?
No, but I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to have lunch at Costco. It feels like an experience I should have at some point.
Yeah, I think you need to get that under your belt to decide whether this is you or not.
My life.
Yeah. Let's see if it fits your way of living. It's because they have this pizza. Costco's like the 10th biggest pizza chain in America.
It's wild.
Because they're just selling so many pizzas.
They must be like number 3 hot dog chain.
Yeah. I mean, look, who's not much
number
competition?
1? Nathan's?
Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah.
I've never been in one of those.
Neither have I.
No, they look scary to me. Like, what's going on in there? There's like certain chains I've never... Jollibee,
I have been inside a mall Jollibee, but a friend was eating there.
Okay, sure. Never been there. Never been to Der Wiener. Is it Der Wiener Schnitzel? Is that what it is?
I would just say Wiener Schnitzel.
Whatever. I'm trying to be respectful.
I know you're
the German culture.
precious about the Wiener Schnitzel.
I want to respect my German friends because they're coming for us.
Wiener Schnitzel is run by Nazis.
Yes. Yeah. We've been funding the Fourth Reich this whole time.
Wait, but have you had the pizza at Costco?
Oh, yeah.
Is it good?
It's not very good. It's so cheesy.
Okay.
It's like that kind of like, and I'm not going to be the person who's just like, out here the pizza's like this, because this Costco pizza is the same everywhere.
Right.
But it's that incredibly doughy, soft.
Right.
It's almost like eating cake that has cheese on it.
No, I
cheese and
don't like
salt. Yeah. No, it's not great.
Right.
But it's very cheap.
Yes, and the hot dogs are very cheap.
Yeah.
And I have had a cookie from it. That's like a recent addition to the menu, and I thought it was decent. I mean,
not bad. Very sugary though.
Extremely sweet.
They go very hard on that stuff. They're just like, it's like airplane food where they're just like, when you're higher up.
Yeah, you've got to intensify the flavor.
Exactly, yeah.
Because your senses are numbed.
Yeah, but we're on the ground.
But maybe while you're in Costco, you have a similar, like your body has a similar reaction to being at 10,000 feet in the air.
Yeah,
I don't
it does
know.
feel like you're somewhere else when you're there.
The air is thinner.
Yes, the air's thinner at Costco.
Well, there's something else I feel like we should talk about, and I feel like you've been avoiding the subject the entire time, which is upsetting me a little bit.
Sure,
Tom, I was excited to have you here on the podcast.
Of course.
I think you're wonderful.
Well, thank you.
I figured we'd have a nice conversation. We'd move on with our day. The podcast is called I Said No Gifts, and so I kind of had to, I did a double take when you walked into the studio holding two what are clearly gifts.
Yeah.
2 items wrapped in a gorgeous wrapping paper, which really scream Tom Scharpling.
Yeah. So expertly wrapped.
Expertly wrapped.
Like a department store.
Were you at Nordstrom this morning?
The edges sticking off and the tape going yeah.
Someone went to Dillard's.
Look, I didn't listen. I did what I wanted. I brought you a couple things.
Well, fair enough. Should we open them here on the podcast?
Sure.
Okay.
These work in conjunction. They will work together.
Okay, so should I open one before the other?
Which one will go first? Okay, well it's going to be for you to have a fun night.
One is a gun and one is bullets.
Yes, well, no, we'll go with that one
Okay,
first.
we'll open this one first. All right, this is the smaller of the 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've been meaning to try this.
Oh, yeah?
It's the new Girl Scout cookie, the French toast one.
Yes. I like how you accent scout.
Oh, interesting. Do I say it
I
strangely?
said Girl Scout.
This is interesting because you're from New Jersey, my boyfriend's from New Jersey, and the harassment I get about certain ways I say things like air conditioning, I say ice cream.
Okay.
Does that sound strange
Like
to you?
air conditioning. Like you go air conditioning. As if we're doing different things to the air. Well, this is the air conditioning part of it.
And you say air conditioning.
Say air conditioning, yeah. But you're saying it as if like turn on the air reduction machine.
But that's what it is.
Turn on the air conditioning machine.
Because
as if
the
there's
air has been conditioned.
There's multiple air machines that you're like, which air machine should I put on? The air conditioning one.
I'm not wrong here.
Look, you're not wrong.
That is the purpose for the air conditioner.
You're the host. You're not wrong. So you have these Girl Scout cookies that are it's the new
French toast.
Yeah,
and now I'm like,
Sure.
am I saying French toast correct?
You're getting that perfectly right. In New Jersey, people would be like, "You're from here." If you start saying French toast like that, people would be like, "What exit on the highway are you from?"
Have you had this particular? How is it?
They're great.
I mean, I feel like we should open them now.
Sure.
I've been, I have
But I will say this is for a night for you to have
course.
a night. I don't want you to cash that out because it goes in conjunction with this.
And should I open that
Sure,
now
you
to
can
talk about it?
Because this is meant for you to have a nice night at home.
And I will tell you, this is a very good gift for me because every night I do have a nightly cookie.
Okay.
And so I usually bake them, but when a cookie is about this small, I'll have 4 of them.
Sure. No, I've heard about the dough you've got stockpiled.
Who told you this?
You said it on the show, yes.
Oh, on the show.
Yes.
It's like, what show?
You said it into a microphone.
Oh, right. We've recorded other podcasts, other episodes of this before.
That's my worst night. I am at the point where I've talked into microphones for so long, and I'll have a thought, and I'll be like, is this a new thought? Did I already say this to a friend out loud? Did it leave my lips at some point? Did I say it into a microphone? Have I said it more than once into a microphone? Like, I can't remember any thought what I've done with this thought.
I just assume at this point I will not have a new thought ever again, and that those thoughts have been said 100 times on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so the listeners still hanging on are like, well, here it comes again.
Okay, well.
So,
yeah.
Okay, I've got the French toast. Let's open this other thing here.
Yeah, it might be slippery, so get ready.
Oh my God. I'm going to throw this away before I even look at it.
It's the bane of every person's existence.
They're movie screeners.
Guild screeners.
Yes, which, if the listener's not aware, if you're a part of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, or the Writers Guild, or whatever, every year you get sent... Actually, I don't get sent these anymore. I think I may have signed up for the
get links.
Leave Me Alone. But these are... They send DVDs.
I figured you could watch a movie and have some cookies and have a great night at home.
You know what? I watched a screener last night. I watched Conclave.
Okay.
Did I say Conclave correctly?
You said it right.
Now I feel like anything with
Conclave.
2 syllables, my life is going to fall apart.
What movie did you see? Conclave. No, you're... Again, I'm the one saying it wrong. We're on your show. I need to say things the way you say them. So enjoy those Girl Scout
The problem
cookies.
here is I'm from Utah and you're from New Jersey, two states that are constantly used as punchlines. So there's no like real. Neither of us has the foot up here.
What's the worst thing people say about Utah that you actually take offense at? Because look, I know what's wrong with New Jersey, and some people hit bullseyes when they put it down.
Right.
But other times people are. It's just like, oh. Screw you. You don't know what it's like.
The one that is like clearly just incorrect is like that everyone's a polygamist.
Sure.
That's just like, and I feel like a lot of people still kind of assume that's real. And that's, I mean, like polygamists do exist in Utah, but they're like the state joke. You see them and you're like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's like our mobsters.
Right, exactly. Except for you can pick them out in a crowd because their hair is braided and they have 50 kids.
Okay. You can usually pick a mobster out in a way because they're
wearing a zoot suit.
They're generally wearing a lot of Yankees
interesting.
Sure. And like expensive track jacket and something that says Yankees on it somewhere.
Right. Okay, I have these screeners. I've seen Honora. Did you like Honora?
I did, yes.
Fantastic. It's so funny.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all of these.
Yeah.
I haven't seen American Fiction.
It's good. I like American Fiction.
This is last year, so we are getting.
We're going back. Look, these are classic movies.
This is another Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't remember this.
Watched half of it on a plane.
Let's see, who's in this? Oh, wait, I have seen this. This is really old. This is several years ago.
It might be a few years old, yeah.
Okay. The United States versus Billie Holiday. The Harder They Fall. Borat.
Yes.
This is a 2020. Why hadn't you thrown this away? What's happening in your house?
Well, my friend directed the second Borat movie, Jason Waller, so I held on to it for sentimental reasons, and then I was just like, I think I can let the Borat
You refused to
go.
buy the DVD.
I can let the screener go at this point, yeah. So
I'm thinking of Ending Things, okay.
Sure.
Da Five Bloods, The Father. Oh, Olivia Colman. I haven't seen her around for a while.
No, she's great.
She's so good.
I know. And
What's
she started
happening?
like as such a comedy person.
I know.
And then she became respectable.
Yes, she's so good in Peep Show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, what a weird turn of events to become legitimate.
Like one of the most respected actors in film. West Side Story. I tried it, didn't make it. Living, have no idea what that is.
And those, for people who don't know, there's a certain type of screener that shows up in a plain...
This is a sad one.
A plain white envelope that they're usually the ones that show up first. Like in it'll be like Halloween.
It's a rush.
And then you get like these movies and their titles, you're just like, this could be a fake.
Living.
There might be nothing on that.
This could be about anything.
Yeah. It could be you put it in the player and it just says like, congratulations.
You tried.
You win, or just like you win, you're the first person to you win $1 million because nobody's ever tried to watch one of these bleak white envelope screeners.
Yeah, it looks like off-brand medicine or something.
Yes.
Challengers. I liked Challengers. I feel like the big complaint was it wasn't sexy enough.
Sure.
Sure.
They hedged their bets.
Yeah, they didn't go as far as people wanted them to. People are disgusting. Nickel Boys. I need to see this.
Oh, look. There you go.
Okay, got a second Honora.
Honora, just in case the first one didn't work.
I can spoil a friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these on people's windshields.
Sure, yeah. I like if they're always like, these are traceable. Don't.
Oh, give me a break.
They're always like, destroy them by March 15th. You must destroy these.
They weren't already on torrent websites 9 weeks before release.
Exactly. And it's just like, so they're really going to track down that's my copy of
Come
Honora.
and get me.
And what are they going to do? Not send me more of this garbage?
I'm calling dibs on that second Honora screener.
You get it, Annalise. You win. The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Now, this is something I have never heard of.
I've never heard of it.
My apologies to the filmmakers. Yeah. Maybe it's good.
Isn't it funny that that's somebody's life is that movie, and there's just so much stuff now.
It's a nightmare for everyone.
Can't track anything. Like,
it is impossible to make an impression on anyone.
Like Julia Roberts has done like TV stuff now, where you're just like, what happened? How is this?
This is like, I mean, it's so strange to write and work in TV, and someone will be like, you tell somebody that, and they're like, oh, what have you worked on? I'm like, I'm just not going to tell you, because it's going to be one thing after another. Yeah. I'll just be like, well, I worked on Jimmy Kimmel. That's my first job, because that's the only thing you certainly have heard of.
Sure. No,
interestingly, this says Best Film Editing Andrew Bird. Andrew Bird is, as far as I know, just an indie musician.
Yeah, well, I guess he's got a side hustle going.
I mean, that's also the modern curse. That really well could be Andrew Bird.
Yeah, now he edits.
He's editing and whistling.
And he's doing...
this is a grand finale.
Yes, there we go. I figured it'd end with on a high note with the not at all controversial...
This is my big question is it a pun on Emily in Paris?
Well, that's a fair question.
It's a Netflix film.
Yeah.
It sounds like Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
It feels like there could be some tie-in. But from what I know about the movie, it's insane, so why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. I have not heard one person say anything short of, that's a total piece of shit movie. Like, everybody's just like, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
But why?
I didn't even open the door. I'm going to start to do that thing where I kind of pretend I saw it.
That's it. The other thing. I thought it was whatever.
Yeah.
Is it a musical? I think I know it's a musical, and it's bad.
That's what I've been hearing.
And I feel like there's one scene that's been texted to everyone in existence. You have to see this thing.
Yeah, I've been tuning a lot of things out lately, so I'm just going to pretend I know the scene you're talking about. I
was sent a scene, but I didn't see it anywhere online, so I don't even know if it's the scene, because clearly the movie must have scene after horrible scene. But apparently somebody likes it, or there's just a huge marketing budget.
There's a huge push.
Why did they pick this one?
I don't know.
They could have picked the Jason Bateman at the airport movie.
They could have picked the one where he had the long hair. When I see that, it's like, ooh, it's a different Jason Bateman.
That's a bad guy.
Bad guy. And then there's this Mark Wahlberg movie where he's bald or something.
I just heard about this. It's called Flight Risk.
Yeah. And it's directed by Mel Gibson.
Of course. Director of The Beaver.
Thankfully, he's back.
Actually, star of The Beaver. That's a Jodie Foster film.
Yes. Wait, yeah, he starred. That's the weirdest.
That was kind of his comeback after the big arrest or whatever.
There must have been something going on that Maverick set where Jodie Foster did that movie with Mel Gibson, where they were bonded for life now.
They saw something.
Exactly. Something went down there, and they are linked together for all eternity. And no, but I see these glimpses of Mark Wahlberg is just
he's bald in it.
Yeah.
I need to Google this. I need to get my eyes on this. Let's see here. Mark Wahlberg. Bald or just Flight Risk? Bald. Sounds like a nasty. Let's see. Wait, he's receding hairline. Or a male pattern baldness. Is that right?
I guess so. He looks like the dad on that 70s show.
This looks horrible.
Yes.
This looks so scary.
that these are the artistic choices being made.
When you said bald, I just imagined like completely shaved. I was like, that probably looks...
No, he's got like the tufts.
Yeah, puffy back of the head.
Yeah, like Ed Asner.
It looks horrifying. And like this sort of thing, like on someone where it's happening naturally, it's just like whatever. But I mean, it looks like he bought it at the Halloween Superstore.
Yeah.
Where it's like that bad bald cap.
Yeah.
Could fly off in the wind.
Yeah.
This looks... I have to see this movie.
It's like if like a kid dressed like Dr. Phil for Halloween, that would be what they would dress.
It's Mad Scientist.
That's what they would go get. Yes, yeah. Like Mad Science, like the kit's it.
Completely.
Yeah.
Comes with a lab coat and a beaker.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't had my cookie yet.
Okay.
Do you want one?
I'm going to let you have it. These are yours.
They're available.
I think
Annalise, do you want one?
Save me one for later.
No, well, these are much bigger than I expected. It's nearly...
almost a piece of toast.
It's almost a piece of toast.
Yeah.
I'm chewing into the microphone.
Which everybody loves.
Turn up the sound
Please,
here.
lean into it.
This is very good.
Yeah, I like them.
It tastes like maybe Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, like it has almost like that. Yeah, like that syrup.
Right.
It's like a little. I remember there being a little syrup. Look, I ate the thing like a ravenous dog, so I just ate them all.
I'm stopping eating it now, not because I don't like it, but because of I'm trying to be a kinder podcast host to the listener.
You're a professional.
But it's because I have pretty strong feelings now about Girl Scout cookies, and I feel like a lot of them bomb.
Well, what would be your favorites?
I think the Thin Mint is the only one that's actually good and has been good the entire time. It tastes...
Yeah.
I don't think that it has ever changed. It's one of the few things in history that's as good now as it was 20 years ago.
I would agree with that completely. The ones that used to be called samosas, and they said that's offensive, so now they're called... They changed the name of them to like Wonderfuls or something like that.
They're called Wonderfuls?
Something like that. But I remember when those showed up, I was just like, somebody's getting fancy in the cookie lab over at the Girl Scout cookie
going a little
factory.
far with these.
Yeah.
The tag-alongs, those used to be good.
Yeah. There has been like a general drop in quality.
Yeah, I think they've been cutting corners on some of the ingredients.
Yeah.
I think the shortbread's still good.
I like the shortbread, yeah.
What are the other ones?
Isn't there like a peanut butter one in there somewhere?
Oh, I don't mind that one.
I'm not huge on peanut butter cookies.
I don't like to hear. Oh, but you like peanut butter in general.
I like peanut butter, but sometimes peanut butter cookies a little. It still slows things down a little too much. Like now I have to drink something for every bite of a cookie. I need to drink something. Yeah.
I think that's all of them. And there's a s'mores flavor, which it didn't work for me.
No, it was very like chemical tasting.
Yeah, it's very like frozen yogurt, artificial flavor.
Yeah, we're being told that this is
right because we know those. It should literally just be graham cracker and we know you can put a marshmallow and that can be preserved in a package.
We've all seen it.
Yes. And put some chocolate on that.
Yeah.
But instead it's like just a literal cookie with the flavor infused, which I find upsetting.
I agree with you completely.
It's like a Jelly Belly.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
But I do like a Jelly Belly.
Well, where the test for me with Jelly Bellies is where people feel about the buttered popcorn.
Okay, I hate.
You hate it?
What do you think of it?
I like it.
Okay, I think it's a bad tasting. First of all, it does not taste like popcorn.
No, of course it doesn't.
But it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes just like a bad. It just hurts my tongue.
Sure.
It's between sweet and like putrid.
And the thing is, I agree with you completely. Yet I do like them. It's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, this is working for me. I'm just going to keep going. Look, I would not seek them out.
Right.
Not like I'm going to go to like it's sugar and just get a bag of just buttered popcorn Jelly Bellies. But if I come across one,
you'll eat it.
Yeah, I got no problem.
There's something very urinal.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know, like the
Yeah, I don't like cinnamon ones though. They're too strong.
I don't like any cinnamon flavored candy.
I think yeah, like red hot things. I don't like any of that stuff.
No, and I think that falls into kind of the s'more category where it's like I know what cinnamon tastes like, and this is not that.
No, this is just you're overcompensating and making it very extreme.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think those are the two. Oh, and banana flavor. Those are the three that just never work ever.
Banana's rough, and grape is.
I like a grape.
But it's just not. Has nothing to do with what an actual grape tastes like.
No.
Like it's just like purple. They might as well call it purple flavor.
But I imagine at some point, whoever was creating it, that's what grape tasted like to them.
I guess so. I mean, what would be the start of that? Would be like grape soda.
Yeah, grape soda feels like the earliest form of that. Grape syrup.
Yeah, and it's just, but why? Where did they get off saying this is grape?
Right.
They came up with this flavor, and then somebody's like, "Let's just call it grape." Like, what's this taste like? I don't know. It's grape. Okay, sure, I'll take your word for it.
I feel like a lot of people's problem with grape flavoring is they associate it with children's Tylenol. And being
I could
sick
see
as
that.
a kid.
Yeah, no, but I also have if there was a candy that was the taste of those aspirins, I would eat that.
Oh, of course.
What were those again? The Saint. Remember, like the aspirins were like very like for kids.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Man, they were good. I would actually go to like CVS and get a bottle and just like I eat two. What's the big deal if I eat a few children's aspirins a day? It's like
probably good for your heart,
right?
Yes,
yeah, it's like I'm
completely.
taking care of myself. But I remember thinking those tasted so good. St. Joseph's, I think it was.
I love a grape medicine.
Mm-hmm.
There was a sun-kissed vitamin that was a similar thing that tasted fantastic. They were so much better than a Flintstones vitamin, which I think are awful.
They were not good.
And that also falls into kind of the Gatorade gum territory for me.
Oh,
you didn't like that?
It's so strong.
I love
the lemon
stuff. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's like, well, what it comes down to is I don't exercise enough to justify needing to like rehydrate through gum. Like I'm not in some extreme training mode. I'm like, dude, if you don't get your electrolytes, you're gonna be in trouble. It's like, well, I gotta have some gum then.
When is anyone ever in a situation where they just don't have a liquid to drink and they need to be chewing?
I don't know.
They need to go to
Michael Phelps. Like
I guess you're swimming so hard.
Training for 6 hours at a stretch.
Can't have a mouthful of chlorine.
Yeah.
Chewing gum while swimming, that sounds dangerous to me.
Yeah.
Feels like something that not a lot of people do.
You get a mouthful of chlorine.
Yeah. No, I love the Gatorade flavored gum, but I wonder if that's even made anymore. And the big problem with that is you're not going to buy that at a grocery store. That you have to go to like, I don't know, Sports Chalet,
Dick's Sporting Goods, and get like Gatorade gum. Right. It's probably $6 a pack. Way too expensive.
Right. Okay, well, I feel like we should look back at these movies for a moment. Have you seen any good movies recently?
I watched Night Bitch the other day.
Oh, how was that?
Everybody was saying it was everybody was like saying it was like like a punchline of a movie. I was just like, it was fine. It was like
sure.
I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, but I kept waiting for it to be like. I waited for it to be the point where we started laughing at it.
Right.
And it kind of didn't show up. And Amy Adams is working so hard in this movie that you kind of just have to give her props for. She's all in on something that's potentially very ridiculous.
Right.
Having to like eat food in like a dog.
Is she a werewolf?
She turns into a dog.
She does? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the title kind of tells you, but I just assumed it was like a spicy movie.
No.
She turns into a dog. Why?
Because it's hard.
It's her birthday wish.
No, it's hard being a mom with kids.
Oh, and so that turns her into a dog at night.
Yeah.
What sort of dog?
Like a wolf. A wolfish dog.
I need to see this.
She's not turning into a pug. It's kind of like a dog that runs through the neighborhood. It's kind of like a German Shepherd-y wolf
teacup
kind
poodle.
of thing. Yeah, not a teacup poodle. Not a Chiweenie. No.
That would be, what a turn that would be. Well, maybe I should watch that. I mean, I feel like the title sets you up. It seems like, oh, wow, this is a bold title. The movie will be so fun.
Yeah.
And then if it's not, then you're like, well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the substance yet because I'm not good with like body horror.
Oh, well,
and
that's
stuff.
going to be a nightmare for you.
Well, I do have to just do it though at some point because I feel like I'm truly outside the circle.
Right.
But this is like Night Bitch is not campy the way the substance is campy.
Okay, sure.
It's a little more grounded, but it's very similar territory in thematically.
Right.
So I just have to jump in on the substance and just get ready to be grossed out for an hour and a half.
No, over 2 hours. That was my big complaint. That was, I feel like maybe 30 to 40 minutes could have been goodbye.
Well, you have some very strict movie viewing rules.
I do.
You walk out.
You've actually listened to the podcast.
Get ready for The Brutalist. Did you see The Brutalist?
I walked out. God bless that movie. They have an intermission.
God bless that movie.
No, this is what I'll say about that movie.
Smote that movie.
This is what I'll say about that movie. I've never walked out of a movie during intermission because you actually have to leave and seen a line out of the men's room. And I think that speaks as to what that movie is.
You would think you were at like a Weird Al concert the way there's the line at the men's room. Just like it. I saw it over at the theater in Burbank, which I do not like that theater.
I freak out over there.
Theater.
Yeah.
Everything's wrong with a theater.
The parking.
They embody that. That theater encapsulates everything. I went to a 1:40 show of The Brutalist. Movie starts a little after 2 with the previews. The break now, the intermission is coming up at like 4:15. The intermission was very long. I went back to get some snacks, went to the bathroom, get snacks, go back in. I'm still sitting for 10 more minutes before the movie starts back up. And then it's another like 2 hours of the movie. So now we're talking it's 6:20.
You could have traveled across the country.
Exactly. You could have flown LA to Newark. The same people are going to be watching that movie on planes and not getting to finish it. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, and I was just like sitting there and I'm just like, why is this long? Why didn't like nobody told this guy? It's just like, well, it's not going to be that long. It's like, I'm thinking it'll be coming up on 4 hours. It's like, no.
And isn't that hard for him? He has to keep watching the movie over and over while they're making it.
He has to be just like, let's go back to scene 985. I think we could tighten it up, or we could probably expand it a little bit. He's probably like, this scene's moving a little too fast. Don't we have a longer take of this we can put in? So long. And then people mistake things like that for epics.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, it has to
just
be
by
great.
nature because it's too
so long. Yeah, all the greatest movies are long.
I felt very justified in my leaving during intermission because everyone's like, yeah, the second half is not as good as the first anyway.
Well, that's completely true. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm like, okay, so I got a decent hour and a half of a movie.
Yeah.
I know basically what's going on.
Yeah.
And now I can move on with my life. I got to participate as much as I needed to.
When I first heard you talking about this stuff, I was like, this is madness. Walking out of a movie halfway through. But then, as I started to think about it practically, you're claiming yourself in this process. Completely. And it was so bold to think of saying, no, I've had enough. And I was like, no, he's right. You can just say, I'm done. Thanks. Best of luck to you. I'm not asking for my money back.
You're reclaiming your life.
You're reclaiming your life, yes.
You're taking the shackles off and saying, I'm going to do something else with my time.
I'm very impressed by that.
It's the only part of my life where I have a boundary.
Well,
and maybe I should take some lesson from this.
Sure.
Because it feels incredible. I mean, it might be detrimental in some way where I'm maybe missing some piece of art, but so far it's working out pretty well.
Just assume you're not.
I mean, we're missing out on all kinds of things all the time.
You've seen enough at this point, right? I've seen movies,
Yeah, I kinda
TV
get
shows.
it.
You kind of know where it's going. So
Yeah.
you were fine on The Brutalist.
I hope I'm inspiring people to do this.
I hope Hollywood is taking notes.
Everyone
realizing-
complains constantly about movies being too long.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why more isn't done about that.
I don't
Ego?
know. It's real. I think everybody thinks they're the exception.
Right,
It's like,
right.
Movies are too long, but this needs to be 2 hours and 20 minutes long. Ours does.
Right.
Especially like when these dumb movies are that long. That's like the idea that like those Christopher Nolan Batman movies were like
3 hours.
3 hours. Watching a guy run around dressed like a bat.
There are no layers or anything.
Chasing a clown. We need 3 hours to get here.
Makes no sense.
Unbelievable. Like,
You're not even developing characters.
then everybody likes it, so they keep going.
Yes, of course. Of course.
I think you need to be the face of a movement.
I think I am.
We've had enough. The 120 club. Movie shouldn't be 2 hours. That's it.
I mean, I think that everyone secretly agrees with that. And
I do.
the more people that do it, the more Hollywood will pay attention.
You need to put a face on it because they're not noticing.
Right.
And
This is going
also-
to end up with me just being blacklisted.
Absolutely. You're going to be run out of the industry. David Zaslav is going to hear this and be like, do not put your face. It'll be like a shoplifter at a store. Your picture will be behind the counter.
Do you know, I mean, speaking of that same thing, I almost feel the same way about a full 30-minute sitcom.
When sitcoms took the liberty of saying like, no, we're going to tell you how long this is. They never go the other way where it's like, hey, that one was only 17 minutes.
Right.
They never, if they were going both ways, so, hey, this episode, we need 32 minutes to tell the story.
We need it.
This one, 17 minutes, we got it done. They never do less than that 23-minute thing.
Right.
When those Arrested Development episodes started
Those
rolling
were
in,
tough.
and they were getting into past the 30-minute mark,
You get to 35 minutes.
I was like tired.
It's exhausting.
I was actually tired.
Yeah.
Even like the supersized Friends episodes when that was a thing. Like Friends is supersized. 5 minutes more. Too much. Too much. I didn't need this much Friends.
Yeah, 22 to 24 minutes is plenty.
It's actually more than enough because you could get rid of the C story and we could be
You
out
could probably
of here in
get rid of
15
all
minutes.
three
Yeah,
stories.
probably just like let's just hang out with them.
Yes.
Friends is just like what if we're just in the coffee shop for
Just saying a few things
8
for 10
minutes?
minutes.
Yeah, like and we're good.
We
Thanks,
get the
everybody.
Rembrandts playing the theme song, 10
Yeah.
minutes of the friends catching up.
And
Yeah.
head
No
on out.
sitcom storyline justifies beyond 22 minutes.
No, absolutely not.
I do not care. I guess the one exception I'll make is Enlightened. You seen Enlightened?
Yeah,
but it's
I
more,
loved
it's a
Enlightened.
different thing.
Enlightened was its own.
Yes, it's not
Yeah.
a sitcom. It's
No.
a comedy
Yeah,
thing. It's
No,
incredible.
Enlightened was amazing.
Yeah, but otherwise, forget it. Oh, okay. Well, now I've got a lovely evening of watching Amelia Perez
Honora
and eating
twice.
and Honora twice.
Don't play the same disc 2 times.
No, I'll get up
You need
and
to
wa-
alternate between discs.
Yes. See,
It's like
look
True
for
West
differences.
on Broadway. It's like you need to go back and forth.
Of course, of course. I'm very excited about my evening ahead of me. I think it's time to play a game.
Okay.
I think we'll play Gift or a Curse. I need a number between 1 and 10 from you.
8.
Okay, I have to do some light calculating to get our game. Oh, and opening back up to Mark Wahlberg balding is startling.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do some promoting, recommending, or whatever you want. I'll be right back.
Okay. My name's Tom, and I do a show called The Best Show. It's on Tuesdays, and it's fun. And this is actually the 25th anniversary of The Best Show. We've been doing it that long. And so it happens, we do it live every Tuesday night from 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific. And then it's a podcast for everybody to listen to whenever they want after that. And I do a show called Double Threat with Julie Klausner that comes out every Monday. So check them out.
Beautiful. This is how we play Gift or a Curse. I'm going to name 3 things. You'll tell me if they're a gift or a curse and why, and then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
Okay.
You can lose the game, Tom.
Sure. Okay.
All right. First one is from a listener named Emily. Gift or a curse? And Emily, they're called croissant witches, but she said croissant. It's nearly impossible to say croissant witch.
Yeah.
Croissant witches?
Yeah,
no one's ever said that, Emily.
Nobody. You know, when you're judging how somebody pronounces something, they're really wrong.
Has anyone ever said croissant witch?
No, I've never heard that.
I think Burger King got in there and fixed things for everybody.
They tightened it up.
Yeah, gift or a curse, croissant witches.
I would say because it's a lighter option in the scheme of things. I would consider that a gift.
Okay. Wrong. I think this is a curse. I think this is exactly why. I think a croissant is a delicious thing that everybody loves.
Sure.
But the reason you eat a croissant is because of the layers, and it's like a flaky pastry. And when it turns into a sandwich, you have to squeeze a sandwich to eat it, and you basically ruin the croissant, or you're getting flakes everywhere.
That's true.
Because a croissant you kind of have to pull apart.
You're right.
And third, I don't know if I've named 2 things or however.
Keep going.
400. Usually it's a badly made croissant anyway. It's like
that's very true.
Second thought croissant because you're buying it maybe from Burger King.
No, I can't argue with any of that.
I think it's a bad thing, and I would rather have a biscuit or a toast for my breakfast sandwich.
Well, I would agree with both of that. I would agree with all of it. I think I might have lower standards than you, where I would just be like,
it's something.
Sandwich, let's do it.
Okay, 1 wrong so far, big deal. Number 2, this is from a listener named Jessica. Gift or a curse, suggestive billboards for family-friendly businesses.
Suggestive billboards. What would constitute a suggestive billboard?
I think like some double entendre, you know, like I can't think of one.
Well, I'm going to say that's a curse. I still feel like I see some of these billboards. Like have you ever seen the Drake the lawyer billboards out here?
I don't think I have.
The lawyer, his name is like Greg Drake or whatever, calls himself Drake the lawyer. And the billboard has like Kendrick Lamar jokes on them where it'd be like, in law, not like us.
Oh, God, and what a loser.
That's informing this. I'm going to say that's a curse.
Oh, that's so irritating.
Yeah.
Kendrick must be furious.
Yeah. And it's also just like maybe my lawyer shouldn't be trying to be funny.
Yes, that's the last thing I want my lawyer to do.
Good at law. Like you're just laughing in the courtroom as you lose the case.
But the thing is, you're not laughing because he's not actually funny.
He's terrible. And it's not even funny.
Yes, it's nothing.
Yeah. It's like comedy adjacent.
Everything now has to be comedy adjacent.
Everything
it's infuriating.
It's exhausting.
You're right. It's a total curse. Okay. I mean, I will say, just at this point in history, we are beyond suggestive. What are we even suggesting?
No.
We all know what the President of the United States has destroyed any pretense of we're keeping things from each other.
There is no reason for anybody to not say whatever they want. The most
absolutely disgusting thing you want.
You're valid because,
fuck you, come to our laser tag. It's whatever.
The amount of cursing that has, and look, I like cursing a lot.
Sure.
I love cursing, but I don't always want to hear it.
Right.
Or it's just like sometimes you hear it just like I was watching like a basketball game and then like the between things just like, let's get this shit turned up. It's just like, we need to curse right now. What are we doing? And like they bleep out. It's just like, why are we recording this?
Yes, we don't need that there. Yeah. Let's save that for more fun situations.
Absolutely.
Screaming at other drivers.
When it counts. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's bad. Curse. I just don't like cheeky. I don't like winking. I think it's annoying.
Yeah, I'm with you completely.
Okay, number 3. This is a listener named Mark. He suggested gift or a curse, limited edition items.
If it's limited because there's a limited demand on something, you're not overproducing something, that would be a gift. When you're working people up into a frenzy that they're not going to be able to get something that they will be able to get, but they're getting upset about. When you're creating a false need, preying on the weakness of somebody who has the extreme collecting mentality, that's a curse. So I'm going to say ultimately curse.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a curse. I agree with you completely. I feel like because it is so often artificial demand.
Yes.
You're not going to hold these things back. The only time a thing should be limited edition, I think, is if it's literally made by hand by one person.
Absolutely.
If it's made in a factory, there's no reason not to make as many.
Just keep stamping them out.
When you're trying to create lines, I will never stand in a line for an item.
No.
So I will just never own a limited edition thing unless I find it at Goodwill.
And have you ever been to Comic-Con?
I haven't, and I don't have any plans.
Don't do it. No, you're
God
right.
Bless.
You're right. This is exactly the right. They'll do these things. These toy companies will be there and be like, oh, we have a Incredible Hulk figure, Comic-Con exclusive. It's like, he has like blue shorts on this one. And there's a line of people in a panic.
Of course.
To not get that thing. It's just like, this is just cruel what we're doing here. And it's just like, it's ending Earth, basically. It's like we're accelerating the end of Earth. The idea that adults are waiting in line to buy a thing for very expensive also. So that they can buy like plastic that has just a different color on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a curse.
I feel like limited edition collabs were kind of the last step in everything falling apart.
Sure, yeah, exactly. When suddenly it's like, oh, well, Rihanna's teaming up with
Tom Scharpling.
with me. Well, that one might be fun. But,
I want to see that now.
Yeah,
Rihanna,
now I actually
reach
want
out.
that one. That's a gift now. Okay.
Rihanna, you have only you have the power, Rihanna.
Please.
So be an adult and collab with Tom Scharpling.
I have no pull in this one.
I do.
No, well, please.
She's got to be a listener.
I'll take whatever you can get me.
I think she's our secret billionaire listener that I'm occasionally teasing.
Yeah.
Rihanna, reach out. Well, you got 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Not incredible, but whatever.
Whatever.
This is the final segment of the podcast. I said
Whoa,
no emails.
whoa.
Oh
Wait
my God.
right there.
Annalise, I nearly blew past your segment.
How dare you?
Annalise has one gift or a curse for both of us.
Okay.
And only they have the correct answer.
Okay.
What is it, Annalise? You
All
butting in and just controlling the podcast.
All right, gift or a curse. Squirting ketchup on top of fries.
Do you want to go or should I go?
You go first.
I think squirting ketchup on top of fries is disgusting. I think it's completely unnecessary. I don't understand the point of that in any way, actually. It's not saving you any time. It's the only thing it's doing is making the French fries soggy while you're eating the rest of your meal. When someone does that, they've just now ruined the French fries for me. It's not gravy.
No, it's not gravy. These are not disco fries. You're declaring this is how we're eating. You're declaring this is how everyone's eating fries. They're going to have to kind of root through the ketchup to get to hold a fry. You have ketchup on your fingers.
Yes, the ketchup should be on the end of the French
Put it
fry.
on the side.
Yes.
Then everybody's in control of how they want to eat French fries. Oh, I want to dip mine. Oh, I don't want to dip mine. It's not just this decision. Like it's like somebody. I've never been in this situation. I don't even know what I would do if somebody's like, I'll order for the table.
Oh, sure. Oh.
I would shoot myself.
Oh, my God. The absolute worst feeling in the world.
I'll order for the table.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. I'll say that sometimes as a joke to people. I'll be like, I'll order for the table. I'll go like 6 Salisbury steaks and 6 hot coffees.
And 1 glass of water.
Like a hot coffee with anything is like that's the only thing you're allowed to drink is hot coffee. And everybody laughs, but somebody actually doing that, and that's what this French fry thing is.
Yes.
So I would say absolutely it's a curse.
Yeah. Occasionally I want to eat just the fry without the ketchup even.
Absolutely.
I'm mixing it up during my meal.
You have a few fries without ketchup, then you're like, okay, let's liven it up a little bit.
And for some people, this is a way of life.
Some people.
Annalise, I hope that... What is the answer?
You guys, it's a gift.
Oh.
And here's my reason. When I'm ordering fries, I'm not ordering it for the table. I'm ordering it for me.
I don't care.
What message am I sending when I'm putting the ketchup on top of the fries is you're not going to stick your grubby hands into my ketchup and my fries.
Okay, Annalise.
I'm keeping it far away from you. I am essentially marking my territory with the aforementioned ketchup.
The message you're sending is you don't know how to eat French fries, and everyone at the table is wondering what's happening over there. Maybe we should take Annalise's side. Fired.
I feel like you need to bump up the class of person you're hanging out with if you need to mark your food like that.
Yeah,
Clearly,
these freaks.
this is a comment on your friends, not French fries and ketchup.
I don't blame them.
Stay away from my food.
Annalise, wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. Okay. This is I said no emails. People write into isaidnogifts@gmail.com begging for answers. Will you help me answer a question?
Of course.
Okay, this says, hello, Bridger and guest. Firstly, thanks for your podcast and all your gift advice so far. Don't mention it. I have started to make little things out of clay. It started with egg cups, and then when I realized they were really flippin' hard, I moved on to bowls. So far, the bowls I have made have turned out pretty cute, perfect for the hipster in your life, but I live alone, so I have no one to give that... listener, this email, the syntax is tough.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time reading what you've written me. Perfect for the hipster in your life, but I live alone, so I have no one to give me that look that says, oh, bless your heart, these are horrific, please stop. We could have used some periods rather than commas, but we're moving on. My question for you is it ever okay to give homemade things as gifts? Let me know what you think. Big love, Caroline in Scotland. Okay, well, maybe... Caroline, my apologies. Maybe this is how a Scottish email is written, and that's okay. But this could have used a little light editing. The big question, though, is... Well, also, congratulations on your new hobby, this clay thing. Mm-hmm. Can you give people homemade gifts?
I would say if there's a modicum of thought behind the homemade thing, you're not just looking around your house and saying like you have an inventory, like a stock room of things you made, and you're just grabbing a thing for anybody. You're not. It should have some meaning for the person you're giving it to, or something that it shows you thought about them.
You thought while making, they were on. You couldn't stop thinking.
As if you made it for them.
Right.
Yeah.
I would go one step further and say it needs to be good.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that completely.
I'm someone who cannot give a homemade, any homemade gift would just be a burden for it would be garbage.
Yeah.
But it now has guilt tied to it because they really can't throw it away. So I've given them a useless item that will just stay in their home forever.
Yeah.
And it seems like Caroline is making junk. According to her, even, it's trash. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Caroline, keep those at home.
I don't know if she used the word trash in there.
She said so much as trash.
Well, the word hipster.
I read between the lines.
Yeah, fair enough.
Slop.
Yeah.
Caroline, some people can give homemade things as gifts. You specifically cannot. Go and buy, spend. Buy people things that are expensive, and that's the only way you can win anyone's love in your life. Otherwise, you're going to be driving people away.
Yes, I see your line of reasoning with this. Yeah.
Have you ever given someone a homemade gift?
Once in a while, me and my wife will say like, "Hey, we'll add some homemade components to like Christmas," or it'll be like, "Oh, I made you this I made a calendar of our dogs."
Oh, sure. Yes, of course.
Like that.
That's a very sweet
something
thing.
fun. That's but it's very specific,
right,
for us and for her. So it's not just like I knitted this thing and I'm not good at it, but I'm just going to give you the thing I made. They're very specific. Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I've ever given. I mean, after elementary school, I think that it kind of ended as far as homemade gifts goes.
Yeah, somebody's going to be over at Michael's stockpiling, getting your craft supplies ready.
I was in Joanne Fabric the other day, and that place is the end of the world.
Oh,
they have let go.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael's, if you go in Michael's Crafts, everything is 50% off. Like you're just like, well, why are we pricing? It's like, let's make the adjustment.
Just make the price. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, it's like a dumb game they're playing where it's just like, this is $30, but it's $15 for you.
If it's always 50% off, it's never 50% off.
It's like when Bed Bath & Beyond used to have those coupons.
Just lower everything.
Exactly. It's just lower everything 10%.
Look where I led them. They went out of business.
Yeah, all making those coupons.
And it feels like that's what's happening to Joanne because it was a bleak situation. They need a manager or something, and they're mopping. Well, Caroline, don't write back in. Tom, we answered the question perfectly. I now have these delicious cookies. I can't believe the Girl Scouts were able to make a modern good cookie. We love the Girl Scouts and everyone should buy them, but let's be honest, be selective about which product you're buying from them. You have to send them a message. You vote with your dollar with the Girl Scouts.
Absolutely you do.
And I've got all of these films, which I will watch.
All of them, in order.
I've had a lovely time with you.
Oh, this was the best.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Listener, the podcast is slowly running out of juice. You've been begging for it to be over for the last 45 minutes. You walked out halfway through, and that's fine. It's over. I love you. Goodbye.